Hi, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Jelena.
Welcome to our YouTube tutorial.
And what are we doing today?
Today we are doing 3 poses, 2 of them look very similar, called Dandasana and Pacsimattanasana. Dandasana means,
Staff pose.
that's right, staff as in stick, not staff as in a group of employees.
I had to Google that a long time ago because it didn't make any sense.
Why would you need a staff for this?
It's like a party pose.
And then the other one is Pacsimattanasana, and that means...
West side stretch.
That's right. And it's Pacsimattanasana, not Pacsimottanasana. So don't leave a comment about it, okay? All right. I said it's 3 poses because we actually have Pacsimattanasana A and B or D. A little confusing, but we'll describe that later. But before we get to any of that, remember to like,
Subscribe and follow and maybe leave a comment.
but nothing about Pacsimottanasana.
All right.
Okay, on to business. So these postures are in Ashtanga's primary series. Pacsimattanasana is, very common posture, sitting forward bend, through lots of different traditions, but we'll give you the vinyasa count and the conditions specific to our tradition of Ashtanga yoga. So we'll go through the vinyasa first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the work. All right. So this actually happens right after we finish the Virabhadrasana sequence in the primary series. There's a video in our playlist there. We can link to it here if you're curious where it is in sequence. And then we go Sapta, inhale, jump through into Dandasana. And Dandasana is Sapta is the state of the asana. That means the vinyasa that you jumped into it is the vinyasa you hold. So you'll notice Jelena didn't change anything. She just went straight through, sat down, and then there's a drishti on the state of the asana, a gazing point, and that's the tip of the nose, nasagrai. So she'll stay 5 breaths here. And then after Dandasana, she'll go straight to Pacsimattanasana A. Ashtau on the inhale, she reach forward, catch the big toes, and then Nava, exhale, fold into the state of the asana. And now the drishti changes from the nose to the toes, the tip of the foot, padagrai. 5 breaths here. Dasha, inhale, head up. Exhale, there's no count, there's no vinyasa count, so there's no cue, so nothing happens on the exhale. And then again, now we go to either B or D, which is basically your deepest version of Pacsimattanasana. So we say lock the hands, Ashtau, inhale, lock the hands. Nava, again, exhale into the state of the asana. And again, it's Padagrai Drishti towards the toes, 5 breaths here. And Dasha, inhale, head up. Exhale, again, no count, no movement. Yekadasha, inhale, hands down, cross the legs, pick up. And Dwadasha, exhale, go back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Trayodasha, inhale into upward dog. And Chaturdasha, exhale, hips up, downward dog. Okay. Very good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I did the fancy straight leg jump through.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good time to do a straight leg jump through. I don't know if we have a video talking about when to do what jump throughs.
The straight leg jump throughs, well, comment, let us know if we should do a tutorial on it. But it's one that if you can do it, it's actually easier because it's all about momentum. So we don't really do it too much in our practice. But the reason David said this is the good time to do it is because we end up with the leg in that position. We keep the legs nice and straight throughout both the Dandasana and the Pacsimattanasana. So we just...
It's the straightest line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we jump through, but it's not required. You can, remember, always crawl through, you can step through, and you can jump cross-legged as well.
Just do something. Okay. So Dandasana, staff pose. Dandasana, it seems very inconsequential, like unimportant.
Big words.
Inconsequential is not a big word.
A big word. If you're ESL, that's a big word.
Are you ESL watching this? I apologize. It seems like a very unimportant posture, but I think there's a lot in it, a lot in Dandasana, because it sets us up for all of these sitting poses now that we're going to do through the rest of the practice.
It's true. Yeah, it seems very kind of easy and almost like a little break, which it could be. It could be like a little break, but it still sets the main foundation for your body, which you keep as we move through poses.
Yeah, and a little fact, this would be the spot where in the lead primary, you would lay your towel out, after the standing poses. When you get to the floor, usually people use Dandasana to get up, unroll their towel, and then get back into position by the count of 5.
Yeah, if you need a towel.
If you need a towel, which we don't because we use life form. Okay, so Dandasana, you jump into the state of the asana. So ideally, your hands don't change and you come to sit. So your hands don't change from the downward dog position when you're jumping through. And you'll end up sitting with your hands in line with your hips, somewhere around there, and your legs extended straight out in front of you, feet together. And then you could just kind of slump here and not really do anything, take a break. But what we could also do is start to set up the work that we're going to carry forward into all of our forward bends. So one thing that we want in the forward bends is active legs. And we're going to press down through the backs of the heels and through the hips into the floor to get the legs to engage. And it's not like you're engaging your legs 100%, but you want them active instead of just sort of passively resting on the floor. So pushing down through the heels, maybe spinning the thighs slightly in so the knees and the inner edges of the feet come close together. Toes point up at the ceiling, so try not to do anything crazy with your feet, the people do funny things with their toes. And then push down through your hips as well so you feel your sits bones connect to the floor. Almost like you're pulling yourself a little bit into a posterior tilt, just a little bit. All right, and then pulling in through your lower belly, Uddiyana Bandha, we call it, flying up lock, drawing the navel in towards the spine. Push into your hands, spin your arms in, so your inner elbow joints turn towards the sides of your body, and then gently pull your hands towards the back of the mat to get your scapula to come down and into your back to lift your chest. Oh, that's Connie. Connie's sitting over there. And then the heads of your shoulders are going to pull back, and that's going to get this nice stretch across the front, and you're going to feel the whole torso, the whole upper body is engaged like the legs, active. Good. And then keeping your chest up, you're going to slightly drop your chin, and your gaze comes down towards the nose. And then we'll do our empowered thoracic breathing here, the free breathing with sound. So you'll feel that the contraction in the belly is directing the breath into the shoulders and the upper body. That is Dandasana pose. Did I miss anything, Jelena?
No.
Okay. All right. So from Dandasana, we're going to go straight to Pacsimattanasana A. So that's on Ashtanga. You reach forward and catch the big toes. We've got lots of videos that talk about modifications and things, so if you need to bend the knees, no problem. But ideally, if you can, you're going to keep the legs straight, catch the toes, and then on the exhale, Nava, come down into the state of the asana. Come down and come forward. So notice when Jelena comes into Pacsimattanasana, she's not going to try to do an anterior tilt or too much of a posterior tilt. She's going to try to hold that same shape that she had in Dandasana and then roll on the sits bones as she comes down. All right, so the back is slightly contracted to keep the chest open, so she's not letting the chest drop down onto the legs. And she's not letting the head come all the way down onto the legs. She's keeping the chest a little bit open and coming forward towards the feet. The belly is lifting and the legs are still engaged. And then here's a pro tip for your arms. With your toes, with your fingers on your toes, don't pull the toes back towards your head. So you're not trying to, hyper extend through the heels. Instead, keep pushing down through the heels with your hands pull up on the toes. So you're pulling the toes up away from the floor towards the ceiling lightly, and then rolling your triceps, your elbows slightly down towards the floor so that your back broadens. And that's going to help you release a little bit across the upper trapezius and generally evenly engage through the upper body. Okay, so there's 5 breaths there, and then we go dasha, inhale, head up. Notice on dasha, Jelena is still holding the big toes, and then on the exhale, she stays there. Nothing happens. She doesn't release the feet. Now on the next one, you can either do B, where you catch the outside edges of the feet, or D, where you wrap the arms around and try to catch the wrist. Don't ask about C. Okay, and inhale as you do that, catch. And then on the exhale, again, nava, you come into the state of the asana. Now you're gonna be able to use more strength in your arms. So get your biceps to start to work a little bit more to try to draw your collarbones towards your feet. Remember, you're still trying to keep your sits bones on the floor, but don't stay on the back of the sits bones. Let yourself come forward on your sits bones so you feel the stretch through the hamstrings as well. And then that way you're gonna get this nice even stretch through the whole back line of the body, from the heels all up through the back of the leg, through the lower back, through the upper back, all the way to the head. Good, dasha, inhale, head, chest up, exhale there. And then on the next inhale, you would cross the legs and pick up. It's a lot of detail?
Yeah, it is.
Too much detail?
I don't know. Maybe.
Is it? Let us know. Yeah, I kind of threw it all out there.
Yeah. So I won't say anything, because if I say something, we're going to start losing followers. Be like,
Why?
too much, boring them too much.
Oh, okay. If you give more detail, do you have a pro tip? Give a pro tip.
My pro tip is that 2 things that I really focus on, or actually 3.
Oh my God.
Squeezing but mine are fast. Squeezing the legs together.
Mine was fast.
Pulling back through the belly.
I said that.
And then reaching forward. And then I don't think about necessarily keeping the gaze on my toes. I just know that that's directional. Because if I try to kind of fold and then keep the gaze on my toes, sometimes I get pinching in the back of my neck. It can feel weird. So I think about reaching towards the toes with my whole body, my upper body.
I feel like you said that.
Well, what else can I add? And also, just so you know, I don't listen to David when he talks most of the time.
Obviously, I would say, right? Yeah, the drishti, we've mentioned it before too, but drishti, don't worry if you can't see.
Now he has to repeat what I just said.
No, I'm mansplaining. Okay. Don't worry if you can't see what the drishti is. The drishti informs the direction of the posture. Yeah. Though it is totally possible to keep your gaze on the toes as long as you don't bring your body down too low, right? So if I stay up here, it's very easy to see my toes. But if I bring my head down onto my legs and then try to see the toes, then I'm going to overextend the neck.
Still mansplaining.
Well, I am a senior teacher. Okay. All right. You let us know. Was that too much? Is it helpful? What do you want to see? Okay, thanks for joining us. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share with a friend.
Bye.
Bye.